Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Abilities Podcast. I am your host, Nick Earhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. All right, so today we have Mitchell Levy, and this guy is impressive. Now, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. As you guys know, I'm a business coach myself, but today I'm actually going to be kind of coached by Mitchell, and he's going to help me with something that I've been struggling with, and I don't want to give it away yet, but I want Mitchell to be able to tell you guys what he does and how he's going to help me. So, Mitchell, thank you for being here, and can you tell the audience what you do?
Absolutely will. Nick, thanks so much for having me and volunteering to be so vulnerable in a live situation.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but I'm ready. Let's go.
You got this. You got this.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll take care of you.
yeah.
Hi, my name is Mitchell Levy, global credibility expert. And how I think my entire life I was focused on some different aspects. Typically, my focus was always on integrity. Say what you do and do what you say. What I ended up doing, and I've had lots of fun things. I've been on the board of a public firm. I've done a commencement speech for a university. I've written 65 books. I've published 750 books. I'm one of Marshall Goldsmith's 100 coaches. So and there's tons of stuff. But I'll tell you what really fine-tuned who I am today and what we'll spend time on is between 2019 and 2020. I ended up interviewing 500 thought leaders on credibility. Kind of thought Napoleon Hill, 500 millionaires, think and grow rich. Mitchell Levy will interview 500 thought leaders on credibility and really come up with a good definition of what that is. One of the things that it fine-tuned for me is my focus on clarity. And I've now worked with over 1,000 companies and individuals and helped them articulate where they are executing on their purpose in less than 10 words. There aren't many, if any, other human in the planet who can do that. I could do that for any company, any individual. And that, Nick, that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on what I call a CPOP. It stands for Customer Point of Possibilities. And it is where you are executing on your purpose today.
And I'm so right because, we talked a couple of days ago, and I was upfront. I'm like, I'm not clear on exactly what I do. I think it's because I do a lot. Like, I can help people in so many different ways, but it's like, in business, you gotta know your overall mission and what you can do to help somebody else. Expand on that. Like, start with the main thing. My mentor at Grant Cardone, he says, keep the main thing the main thing. I gotta do that for myself.
And I think one of the things that we're taught that is absolutely not right. We're taught that we need to cast a really wide fishnet. The bigger the audience that we serve, the more people we'll serve. I'm going to tell you the opposite is true.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, the more narrow, the more focused, the more relatable you are. And now when I say relatable, I mean the more relatable you are to two groups of people that you really want to be able to talk to and to have as part of your community. One are your referral partners, the people who actually trust, know, and love you and will refer you because you've made it so easy for them to remember you and refer you. And then the second, of course, are your prospects that you turn into clients. So that's probably the biggest thing I'd say is, and it doesn't mean that your CPOP, doesn't mean that your clarity statement, your customer point of possibilities doesn't change over time. We change over time. Not only do we change, but those we serve change. So, you're going to change that over time. But what it provides you, and this is the coolest part, and Nick, I'll jump into you and start thinking in a second. The coolest part is when you can articulate who you are in less than 10 words, you now have a compass. And when you then look at, um, so I'm gonna say this with all love. As soon as we get your CPOP, you're gonna look at your website and you look at your LinkedIn and go, "Oh my God, I need to change it." And
Yep.
and I'm just giving you a compass. I mean, it's not you haven't done anything wrong up until now. Let's don't worry about what was the past. Let's worry about, hey, once you actually get your CPOP, let's worry about making it work, making people see us in that world. And here's the coolest thing. If you could actually take your CPOP and show it on your social media, show it on your LinkedIn, show it on your not just putting the words, but reinforcing all the values, you then have turned your compass into a magnet. That becomes powerful.
Yeah. And I love what you do because you're not trying to change what somebody's already doing. You're like a bonus. Like you're helping them do what they do better. And I worked with a lot of coaches. I've gone through a lot of programs, and it's always okay. Let's start doing basically everything you were doing, and let's shift it to do what we want you to do. For me, that's held me back more times than I want to admit. And now I'm focused on, this is what we're doing, and we're just going to keep on the same track and just improve on how we do it.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get started. I'm going to give you a definition of what a CPOP is, and then I'll just ask you a couple questions, and we'll come up with something for you. Right. Um, the CPOP is, and I'll just step back to the definition of credibility. Credibility is the quality in which you're trusted, known, and liked. There are 10 values of credibility, and under being known, one of the values is being a servant leader. And so, to be credible, you have to serve others. And so the customer point of possibility is the CPOP. The definition is in less than 10 words. Part one, who do you serve? Part two is from their perspective, what is their pain point or what is their pleasure point? So Nick, let's talk about it. And who is it that you really serve?
I serve new entrepreneurs, people that are, a few years into their entrepreneur journey, and they're at the point where most of us get, where they're just kind of stuck and don't know the next step.
Got it. All right. By the way, thank you. Sometimes pe- people are, um, what they'll do is they'll say, I serve authors, speakers, coaches, and by the time they're done, it's like 15 words, and it doesn't matter what comes next. You can't remember any of it. So, new entrepreneurs, I might actually consider newly minted entrepreneurs, but I like new entrepreneurs. Okay, so the from their perspective, from your clients or prospects' perspective, we're going to ask you two questions. What is their primary pain point? Is the first one. What is it that they're experiencing most?
Their primary pain point is generating quality leads,
Closing leads?
just attracting, just getting leads. And then the closing comes later on, which we also help with that.
Okay, so attracting leads. Got it.
Yeah. Because, like, it's one thing to attract leads, it's another thing to attract your ideal client.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
And I know that from a personal experience.
Oh, unfortunately, not every lead is created the same. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. God, interesting. What about pleasure point? When they've worked with you and they've truly experienced success, what are they saying to themselves? What do they realize?
They realize how much time they were spending on in, in, in okay, we're gonna do a different word. Spending time on the things that they shouldn't have been spending time on, or how much time that we were able to save them in their day to day.
That's interesting. We had a little bit of conversation about this when we were doing the preliminary interviews. It was fascinating to me. I'm glad I asked this way because when we were talking out of time, one of the things you were thinking about was the most important thing for them was saving time. But if I'm thinking about saving time or attracting ideal leads, I it there that's a scale like if this is actually, how do we do the scale? The ideal lead seems to bubble up to the top and more than
I
saving
agree.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 words for your CPOP at the moment. Let me and I don't mind 8 words. I'm actually using 2 CPOPs today and my one is 9 words, the other is 6 words. Right? So I don't mind 8. And there's a particular reason for that, but let me ask a couple other questions so that I can decide if we narrow it down or change those words a little bit.
Okay. Sounds
All
good.
right. So when you're working with the new entrepreneurs, how old or how new are they? You said 2 to 3 years into it or at the beginning or who is it that you really
Yep. So I have one client who is older, and she's been at this for, I believe, 5 years, and just kind of just keeps trying things. Nothing seems to work, and then now working with us, she's getting new clients. She's experiencing more money, more leads, more time, and just enjoys what she does that much more.
Hmm,
But yeah, I would say all my clients are less than 5 years in business.
got it. Try to put a word around that then. I mean, I really liked newly minted, but that implies that it's within the year or 2, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think a good word for someone who has been an entrepreneur for 5 or less years? You said new before, it's probably not a bad word.
A nickel. You said minted. I went to nickel. 5.
Yeah, I know.
No. Um.
Cute, but yes.
Yeah. Not gonna work. So yeah, it's a tough one.
I got it. I think I might have it. I fine-tuned that, so thank you. Let me put it in chat. I'm a visual guy. We're now down to 7 words. And what I'll do for you all right, let's get to chat so you could see it. I'm a visual, so we'll just do the studio chat, if that's the right place to put it. All right. So CPOP stands for Customer Point of Possibilities. And what I think it could be, and what I'll do is I will share with you the CPOP and then what comes next. So let me for a second, actually, I put something new. I'm gonna put a slide in my background for those if you're listening to this, versus watching, reach out to Nick or reach out to me so you can get access to this slide, right? I wanted to share this. So what I want to share with you, Nick, is something really interesting. The thing that's important about a CPOP, and yours is now 7 words, and I'll do your CPOP and tell me more, is how you actually share your clarity with credibility. And so if you take a look at the first bubble, it says clients typically attracted to me. Then you share your CPOP. And then what you're doing is you're waiting for the person after you share your CPOP to actually say, hey, tell me more. Or what do you mean by newer? Or what do you mean by ideal? Don't I just want client leads, right? And you want that, right? Because that if they actually say tell me more, you now know that they are a referral partner or a prospect. If they don't say, tell me more, it doesn't mean they don't care about you. It just means they don't care about that playground you play and they don't care about your CPOP, right? So Nick, let me give you the way you might say it. Now, here's the thing. The only thing I want you to memorize is your CPOP. I want you to think about this. And what I really would like you to think about is we as humans, we vibrate at a frequency. I believe these 7 words are currently how your body is vibrating, right?
Yeah,
If that's true,
I like it.
cool. Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
I
cool, cool.
like it. Yeah.
All right. So let me share with you. I don't want you to, even though it's recorded, I don't want you to memorize whatever I say on the Tell Me More, because the interesting part is the Tell Me More is always based on the person you're talking. It's very contextual. It's always based on who you're talking to. But what I want you to feel is I'd like you to feel the credibility that comes in the Tell Me More, because we now have created a container around clarity, around who you are and how you show up. So permission granted, can I can I
Oh,
can
yeah.
I pretend I'm you for a minute?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. So you're in a group, everyone's talking about their quote unquote 30-second elevator pitch. By the way, I really don't like 30-second elevator pitches. The biggest reason why is people memorize it. If you memorize a 30-second elevator pitch, does it come from your head or does it come from your heart?
Head.
Comes from your head.
Mhm.
It's hard for people to relate to you if you're saying words from your head. What you want to do in your Tell Me More is you need to speak from your heart. All right. So here it is. So somebody says to me, Nick, what do you do? I'm like, there's a set of clients that are typically attracted to me. Newer entrepreneurs attracting their ideal client leads. Let me tell you a little bit more. Whether you've been an entrepreneur for a year or 5 years, there are so many lessons that you've learned. And probably the most important is I'm spending way too much time, way too much energy trying to attract leads. And a lot of times I'm getting leads in the door and they're not the right leads. Here's what we do. We have a process that will allow you to really go after your ideal client lead so that when you're having these conversations, you're not only producing good, compelling content, you're actually also building a relationship where you can then close your client and close more business. Something like that.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, honestly, like, I love that.
So here's the cool part. Thank you. Newer entrepreneurs attracting their ideal client leads. So now here's what I need you to think about. Okay. When you now look at your website and you now look at your LinkedIn and whatever social media, you should be going to yourself, oh my God. I was sort of a little bit tired when we started the podcast. Mitchell, I'm going to stay up all night. I'm going to fix this stuff. Well, probably not, but.
Yeah, yeah, because none of it says anything near that. No, like you said on the last call, I can't narrow down what you do. And I said, hey, me either when it comes to saying it very quickly. And now you've shown me how to say it very quickly. I'm still going to help my clients the same way. I still do all of these things, but now I can articulate in a very casual way with someone what I do. So
Oh,
thank you.
hmm. You're absolutely welcome. And by the way, I love that. So for those who don't know Nick's website today, and by the way, if you see this episode before he changed his website, you'll see this. If you see it after he's changed the website, today there's a laundry list. Like many entrepreneurs, there's a shopping list of 8 or 10 things you do. I couldn't put my arms around it. Now, the interesting part, at the time in which you have a conversation, you hear what somebody's need is. You can then present them the element of the shopping list that makes most sense for them.
Exactly. That's exactly what we do. Yep.
But in the meantime, you want somebody knocking at your door and say, you know what? I am a newer entrepreneur and I need help attracting the ideal clients. What do I need to do and what's it going to cost me? Boom. That's it. That's absolutely an ideal client lead for you. And that's what you want to really get people excited about.
I'm excited.
Oh, super cool. Well, I did mention to you when we spoke, I don't make the offer for every podcast host that we do things live. The reason why uh, is actually there are. I'll get if you don't mind. Can I? I'll share two different thoughts if you
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yep. Go
So
ahead.
the reason I don't do this live is sometimes people have so much marketing cookie cutter approaches that they have a hard time sort of answering the questions as is and then seeing seeing words and feeling the words. Like that CPOP, if this is your frequency, this is what you love waking up in the morning to do. This is how your body vibrates. Like it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Um, and you did this so quickly. And so the reason I did this with you is because you're not full of you have some marketing cookie cutter stuff in you, but that doesn't make you. You are a really good, honest, transparent human. And I've enjoyed our conversation. So I just thought, man, wouldn't that be cool to do this live with you?
Yeah.
Now,
And it was.
good, 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 good. All right. So let me do one more thing. So here's the downside. And for those who go, oh, I could do this, I have to tell you, when I interviewed the 500 thought leaders, I would send them a video with the formula. And what would happen is I I would say, hey, listen, based on what I'm seeing so far, 98% of you won't get the CPOP properly. And so I challenge you to be the 2%. And people would come on and say, Mitchell, I'm the 2%. And they'd share their CPOP. And I go, God, that sounds good. But then fundamentally, it wasn't how they vibrated. Right. So we would change it. After getting a CPOP, and I've now done this over 1,000 times with companies and individuals, here's the hard part. 10% of humans, and Nick, I think you fall in the 10%. 10% of humans know what to do with it, and they can actually take it from there and make it work. They could go, oh my God, this is me. I'm not going to let other people change me. I'm going to now go and update my website. I'm going to update my LinkedIn. I'm going to update how I show up in the world because, Mitchell, this is really simple. Thank you. Right? That's 10% of the world. 90% of the world will forget their CPOP, even though they felt good about it at the time we interacted. They'll forget their CPOP between 2 hours and 2 weeks. So my call for partners, if you help clients have a better life or achieve something better, my call to you is bring me in at the beginning of your client engagement cycle. Bring me in such a way where I can help deliver the CPOP and you can do your expertise. Your expertise is CPOPing. You're helping them do whatever framework you have, and you're doing it with them understanding really who they really are and how they vibrate. Does that make sense?
Yep. And I want to send all of my current clients your way and all of my future clients because if you help them with this at the beginning of our journey together, they're gonna just soar so much faster than what I can do alone.
Mm, mm. Now, Nick, that may be another reason why I wanted to do this on the air with you, but I couldn't have possibly expected it. And so I'm honored and thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm honored. It's amazing. I told you this on the last call. Like I believe in the law of attraction. And for the past couple months, I was like, I need more clarity on what I do, how I do it, and be able to articulate that to somebody else. And I've been struggling. And then all of a sudden one day I hop on one of my, 8 calls for the day and I get you. And I was like, hey, here we go. So yeah, thank you so much.
Mm, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, you're just amazing. I love what you do. You definitely got it down. You know exactly what you do, exactly how you help people, and like we just went through this together. I could not recreate that. No matter how many times I watch this recording, like you definitely have a gift. This is your calling,
Mm.
and you're amazing at it. And when you put my CPOP in the chat and I read it, I felt something. I I got more energy. I was excited. I was like, that's what I do. That is exactly it. So thank you again.
Tell you, one of the things that Marshall, one of the Marshall Goldsmith's 100 coaches, and one of the things that Marshall has taught us is to do something called the daily questions. So for me, I think it's 11 questions, and every day I give a ranking between 1 to 10 of how I have achieved that question. And one of my questions is, did I change the life of one person for the rest of their lives? And typically when you give a CPOP, if you're in the 10%, I've changed your life for the rest of your life. So
Definitely.
I got a 10 today, so thank you.
Yeah, you definitely got it done. And I love that because every morning it's my mission that every day I help somebody else. So thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Are you welcome?
Okay, now for everybody listening, like I know you're all impressed and like this was incredible. So Mitchell, how can they get in contact with you? How can they work with you?
So the best way, I always recommend to those I work with, come up with one place to send people. So if it's going to be one and only one place, go to my website, which is mitchelllevy.com. mitchellllevy.com. From there, you can connect to me on LinkedIn. You could book time on the calendar. We do a clarity session once a month. We charge for that. And so you could actually book time on the clarity session. And we have other services as well. I help people reach out and build their LinkedIn in such a way where they really are attracting their ideal clients, because in order to create a LinkedIn, a bespoke LinkedIn solution, I need to know their CPOP. I work with fast growing CEOs that are looking for executive abundance. And that's something else I do. But once again, to simplify it, go to mitchelllevy.com. You could poke around there and find what's relevant to you. And then from there, we'll link to whatever is important.
Awesome. And I do want to touch on LinkedIn because the last time we talked about that a little bit. And what I thought was amazing was I told you about what I do on LinkedIn right now. And you basically told me you're putting too much effort into it. You could do a lot less and see way better results. So I thought that was incredible. So I can't wait to continue this relationship, work with you further, because I know you're the guy I need to get me to the next level in my business and life. So thank
Mm.
you.
You just sent me chills. You're welcome. Thank you.
Of course. All right, and I gotta ask you because I ask every guest on this episode. Hey, I kind of had kind of a CPAP before, kind of. No, but my slogan is "Your abilities are infinite." What does that mean to you?
Can you say it again? Sorry. Your abilities are.
Infinite.
By the way, I'm going to say for you, that's a great tagline, because every entrepreneur who's adding value to others have an infinite amount of abilities. As a human, we are on this planet and have so much available to us. There's so much abundance that is right around the corner, and you have a choice. It could be a simple left or right choice. Do you want to lead a life with abundance, or you want to lead a life with scarcity? And if you're leading a life with abundance, you're taking your abilities, your infinite abilities to do whatever is important. The best way I'd think about it is, for many people, at some time in their life, they had something that got in their way. They had a kryptonite. And when they got over their kryptonite and they were better at doing it, they turned that kryptonite into a superpower. And so your infinite abilities is a superpower you have to give back to other people that are experiencing the same things that you did at some point in time. And that's a gift, and that's beauty, and that is how you could deliver so much more value to those around you.
That was amazing. Thank you. I agree. Awesome. Is there any last words that you would like to leave the audience?
You know, let me leave one word. Um, the one word I'd like to leave with everyone is discernment. It's really hard today because the internet is a phenomenal tool. It allows the democratization of content and information, and anyone can speak to anyone else. The interesting aspect is not all people are good actors. There are many people who are bad actors. And so when you get information, it's really important to be discerning. It's really important to say, hey, what is this? Before taking action, before spreading that information, what is the source? Who is the source? Are they credible? Can I see other places where that is existing? And that is what discerning is. Discernment means before you pass along a rumor or pass along information that may or may not be right, at least double check on it. Make sure you're comfortable with it before you spread it. Be more discerning in your life. And that will allow you to not only process information differently, but it'll allow other people to see you differently as well.
I agree with that. Thank you so much. And I can't thank you enough for this. Like, this was incredible. So, yeah, it was awesome.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right. Well, I have a feeling that we'll be doing another one someday, and I look forward to it.
As do I.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nick.
If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me in the Nick Your Heart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors, so let's just get it out there by word of mouth and help more people. Alright, everyone, remember, your abilities are infinite.